George Soros, billionaire philanthropist, addressed students and faculty at the University of Pennsylvania on April 8, 2002.
I find the foreign policy of the Bush administration exceedingly dangerous. Although the terrorist threat is real and we must defend against it, we are going about it the wrong way. What makes the situation so dangerous is that nobody dares to say so. The nation is endangered, therefore it's unpatriotic to criticize our leader. That is not what has made this country great. The strength of this country lies in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and the freedom of speech and thought.
In the weeks leading up to the one-year anniversary of 9/11, GNN approached 9 people who have dedicated themselves to investigating how and why the United States was attacked that September day. We asked them 11 questions. Unanswered question number 1. To what extent should airlines have been prepared for September 11th? Mary Schiavo is representing families of passengers of hijacked 9/11 planes in lawsuits against United and American Airlines.
What was really interesting is what people thought, what the government told people and how the government acted versus the real fact.
First of all, the question is not what they should have known. And I believe I can show you in just a few seconds. The question is, what did they know? And believe me, they knew a lot. Because on a September day, 4 planes were hijacked in Islamic Jihad. It shocked the world and will forever change the law under which we act. You think I'm talking about September 11. I'm not. I'm talking about September 12, 1970. Yes, we had an Islamic Jihad. 4 airplanes were hijacked. Actually, it was supposed to be 5. They were taken to Jordan. They were blown up on September 12, 1970. So in the wake of September 11, 2001, when we heard carriers and governments alike saying, oh, no one could have foreseen this, no one knew that this was coming, no one knew that there were any risks like this in the world, is absolutely false. Why? Because we know that aviation is an industry which criminals go after, terrorists seek, and hijackers prey upon to make their political statements in the world. We know this.
So September 11 was literally a repeat of a fact and an event that had occurred 30 years earlier in history.
The Bush administration has changed its official story about how prepared it was for the threat of terrorism around September 11th. Unanswered question number 2. What did the Bush administration know, and when? Mike Ruperts from The Wilderness was one of the first independent news sources to raise the issue of government foreknowledge.
First of all, it's imperative to note that the Bush administration is absolutely and totally lying when it says, golly gee, we had no idea that aircraft could have been used as weapons of mass destruction to attack the United States. We know, of course, that Bush had clear briefings that Al-Qaeda might be hijacking airplanes, but gee, the press forgot to tell you that on October the 24th through the 26th of 2000, the Pentagon held detailed drills practicing for an airliner being crashed into the Pentagon. The major media didn't tell you that at the G8 summit in Genoa, Italy in July of 2001, just 2 months before the attacks, all the airspace was closed off. The summit conference area was ringed with anti-aircraft guns, and the Los Angeles Times reported clearly that Egyptian intelligence and other intelligence services were afraid that hijacked aircraft would be crashed into the G8 summit to kill President Bush. It's a total lie that the administration had no knowledge. It's also a lie that the administration had no advance warning of the attacks. Intelligence reports from France, from Germany, from Russia, from Egypt, from Jordan, all of which taken together show clearly that the United States government had been warned that in the week of September the 9th, commercial airliners would be hijacked and crashed into the World Trade Center, that those airliners would probably come from at least one airport in Boston, and that ultimately, through other warnings, that they would involve aircraft from American and United Airlines. Those are very specific warnings, and that's just what we know now to this day.
The FAA, NORAD, and the U.S. military have standard operating procedures that are routinely deployed during hijackings. Unanswered question number 3. Why wasn't the U.S. military able to intercept the hijacked planes?